creating entertainment rather than just a video game. So in terms of entertainment, it's quite natural for me to create beautiful women. It makes sense rather than bringing ugly women into the game. It's very simple. Naturally.
No violence.
Violence. Entertainment. Beauty. Sex. Gambling. Gambling means that if people really like playing a game, then they'll pay whatever it costs. And that's all.
Oh boy, it's feeling like we never really gonna stop talking about DOA 7 until basically we see the game in some shape or form with a new trailer or something like that, just in general. But to keep it very much a stat, as time kind of goes on after that trailer, all I've been seeing on Twitter, just social media in general, is just either people very excited about DOA 7, as, you know, it's good to see it back, and at the very same time, people very much getting, you know, antsy and very much these tired, repetitive ass arguments of, oh, this game is, you know, gonna be too sexy, it's gonna just be straight up, you know, all this other stuff, and people trying to debate back and forth how much sexiness should be added to it, and all that sort of degree. Now, I'm gonna keep it very much aside. This is gonna be mainly me just yapping about DOA 7 and the hopes and the optimism of cautiousness that I have about it when it comes down to it, because I do feel like we are at a point where it's like, yeah, this is amazing, and again, I'm glad as hell that it's back, for sure. Just to have a new DOA game to play, it's just an amazing time and an idea to me. But when it comes down to it though, the big problem that we face now is obviously just the modern industry of games, because literally, if you do not serve your fan base, the game dies. That is how it is. You have seen it countless times. Just because you are a specific company does not necessarily mean the game can't die for you, because, oh buddy, yes it will. If you do not do DOA right, the game will effing die before the game even comes out. That's just how it is. No one's going to be basically up to blame but the company itself, because you're not giving people what they want. Now granted, as far as we have seen a DOA 7's new project and all that sort of stuff, with that teaser trailer that they showed us, I'm not gonna lie, the reason why I'm like, oh, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, because they have like really good effects in the game when they, you know, hit each other. They actually kind of look okay-ish to a point, right? Kasumi's outfit, which brought up a lot of contention online, is not the worst looking outfit. Like, it's not bad for a starter outfit, honestly. It's much better than DOA 6's, but it's not a bad starter outfit, honestly. Like, you see a bit of thigh, you see boobage and cleavage, so it's not the worst looking thing ever, right? Is it my favorite looking outfit? Of course not. That's always going to go back to her classic fits. But when it comes down to it, though, it's not really all that bad. And the fact they focus on the angle of her having booba in shot kind of shows that, yeah, sexiness is going to be maintained. Sexiness is going to be there. We don't know how much of it, but it's going to be there. The only thing I would probably say a little bit is off is maybe her face. Lower face, it does look kind of weird, but most likely as time goes on, they'll fix that though. Like I said before, the good thing is here is that, yeah, DOA is back, and it looks like DOA is going to be DOAing. Like, that's just how that's going to be. Now, when it comes down to the rest of it, we just don't know. And again, it's too early to kind of tell and to blame, you know, Team Ninja or to hate on them or anything like that until we see more of the game and more of what it's going to be when it comes down to it. Now, I'm going to keep it very much a stack, and honestly, if this was ever sent to anybody in the FGC, or just were to trend in the FGC, this whole thing about to say next, would probably piss a lot of people off. But high key, I hope when the closed beta and stuff happens for DOA 7, whenever that time comes through, I hope I get in just solely to look at the characters from a design perspective and see what outfits potentially do they have in there, because this is something that the FGC of the majority and the big top people of FGC are not going to focus on. They only care for gameplay. That is it. Typically, that's what most people in FGC, you know, care for. They don't really care for single player content. They only mostly care for like ranked content, and that's about it. When it comes down to it, that's really, they live and breathe and die on that, essentially, right? Where people like myself can be like, all right, ranked is cool, but also at the same time, I also like other stuff within the game, right? Like, I don't mind if it has an arcade mode or a story mode or, what other extra modes that they would have. And I kind of wish some of these fighting games would go back to the old touch of minigames when they have it, like way back when. Like, can I be real? Tekken Tag had Tekken Bowling, right? I miss that shit. Why the hell did we not have that, like, a lot of times in these damn games? They did put that, I think, in 7, so, it's not a forgotten thing, but still, Tekken Bowling was amazing. It's something dumb, it's something arcadey, is it necessary? No, but it's fun to have to see characters bowl for dumbass reasons and shit. It's just a good time. But would that be what the big parts of the FGC care about? No, they really just care about beating ass, getting the ranks up, and all that sort of stuff. And to that side of the, argument and topic, sure, that's perfectly fine, right? Like, of course, I'm also worried about stage transitions. I'm also worried about crossplay and rollback netcode and, things like that, which I'm pretty certain DOA 7 will have if DOA 6 don't have it. I'm pretty certain they will have. And in fact, this is, again, the time and period for you to yap about those things to the devs, because this is the time period for people to focus up and know what people want. But when it comes down to it, though, that's pretty much what they're going to be their main concern for. That's pretty much what they're going to be, thinking about when it comes down to DOA 7. It's just the more gameplay side of things, the more fighting, ranked up online side of things. And that's basically about it, while basically kind of leaving the other rest of the content left to be desired. And that's where the casual people to kind of come in, or the people that just want to see what a fighting game can do beyond that, right? Obviously, bring back tag teams. That is also a big thing that DOA 6 left out for some weird ass reason. Like, tag teams has always been a good addition to DOA, so just bring it back. From what I heard, the gauge meter that's behind or like below the health bar is not necessarily the greatest thing in DOA 6, so might need to tone that down or change that bar entirely to something else to be kinda on point of what they should be able to do, right? A lot of these other games like Tekken and Street Fighter use their gauges at least decently well at times, so why can't DOA 6 or 7 use their shits a bit better? That's something to also consider. Again, fighting game people will know good combat, they'll know all that good gameplay stuff. I'm not really too worried about that, because they'll have millions of people that play fighting games to tell them, hey, this is how the combat should be. They'll optimize it as time goes on, and that's just how it is, right? Hopefully, at least for me personally, if I was wanting to see anything, I would like to see like actual ultimates in the game, like actual finisher moves in the game or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool personally, but that's just for me though. But again, gameplay side, FGC for the most part is going to handle that. What they don't handle well, or at least what I think they are trash at understanding a lot of the time, and what other people actually understand a little bit more, is character designs, is what characters wear, and things like that. And that's solely the reason as to why I would personally want to get into the closed beta, to see what kind of outfits is gonna be there. What kind of outfits do you plan to have for across the board for everybody to kind of wear, right? Not just female characters, but male characters as well. Like, what do you have across the board that's gonna make them look good and cool, or make them look sexy and make them look hot and all that sort of stuff? What's the deal here? Because here's the thing for me personally, and I'll stick my own neck out on this sort of ideal, is that I don't need every single costume in DOA 7 to be this absolute slutty, skimpy, overly sexy outfit when it comes down to it. A lot of that should exist in there. However, I don't need every single outfit to be that, right? Yes, you can include like a regular beach bikini outfit or whatever, but then do some crazy shit. Go out of the box of an idea of what an outfit can be. What if Kasumi's outfit was torn? What if she wore like, some of the stuff in DOA 5, honestly? It doesn't even have to be like the most revealing shit ever. Just have her like wear something that shows a lot of cleavage, and you just have like a dress on her but that shows like a lot of cleavage or something, like kind of how you did again in 5 and whatever, right? Have her wear like some other cool shit, but also at the same time let her kind of have her skin breathing a bit more and all that sort of stuff. Again, you can let these characters exist and then give them the proper gameplay they need, and at the very same time you can still give them good outfits that people want to see. Obviously, do not do what DOA 6 did. with hiding the outfits behind a paywall and that's just how it was. Like, no, let them be unlockables in the game. You do not need to put microtransactions in these games that damn hard, and if you do, you can do it in a smarter way than what the hell DOA 6 ever was. So yeah, put those outfits in the game. Don't just always rely on Safe Sexy. Look at the other franchise of DOA that you have with the, you know, Extreme series. Like, go back, look at those outfits. What was hitting hard for those? There's some skimpy shit in there. There's some beach bikinis in there. Throw it onto some of those characters, and I promise you, people would be absolutely happy with that. Now, when we go to things like, you know, obviously, like, character faces and stuff like that, it's always gonna more lean into realism and stuff like that, which, love it or hate it, that's just how many games are gonna be. Which, is it kind of boring? Sometimes, yes, obviously, but that's just how they're going to go about it, and why not, since they have like all these other games that they've been working on recently and doing, so might as well just continue to lean into that. My biggest thing, and I've said this about Ninja Gaiden for Ayane when it comes down to it, and I'll keep it a stack and I'll keep saying it, I don't like her design in Ninja Gaiden 4. Not that she looks terrible, like, no, she still looks good, but I don't care for the overly mature look that they try to go for Ayane in that, right? Ayane has kind of always looked cute, or had the cute factor to her, with the sassy ass attitude, with the really the I'll beat your ass sort of attitude. Honestly, like that's what Ayane looked like to me. DOA 4 is a great example of that. DOA 5 still maintained the cute factor of what she looks like, and not this over, like, I wouldn't say it's even overly, but it does have that mommy sort of feel, you know, sort of maturity to it, and I don't really care for that. I don't care for that personally. If I could have a personal take on that one, that's just how it is. If you want to, you know, kind of dial that back and give her some of that cuteness back, hell yes, for sure. But overly though, when it comes down to it, I just don't want to see characters that is already established to already look a certain way to drastically change them into something different that they're not, right? Let's just keep it very much a stack. I don't want to see that sort of thing, you know? I just want to see characters actually be what they are. You can change them to a point, sure, but I'm not asking for absolute overhaul. Ayane must look like an adult. If she looks cute, she is terrible sort of mentality. And that's something that more so English localization and, you know, policy managers and whoever the hell else makes the decisions to change Japanese content, that's how they usually work, right? That's just how it is, and it's very annoying every single time. But like I said before, this is the time period for you to let the devs know, hey, this is what we should have in DOA 7, this is what we are hoping for, and all that sort of stuff too. Also, DOA 6 is really important too, not only just to play the game, but also at the very same time to see what they include with the game, outfit wise, character wise, whatever, just to see what they're going to do with that, because that will be a telling sign probably to what they'll do with 7 as well. So, you know, you might want to keep an eye out for that when it comes down to it. But when it comes down to it though, it's also kind of hard to do that when literally the Reddit of DOA likes to ban people for saying, you know, things about adding fan service to the game or outfits to the game or things like that. How can there be open dialogue when literally you exclude that part of the dialogue? Like, that is what DOA is. It is part of their DNA. Again, it reminds me of the whole Brown Dust 2 controversy that we saw recently. How are you going to remove or censor the crazy ass illustrations and animations when that is basically the bread and butter of what Brown Dust 2 is? They walked back the changes, they made different sort of ways to make it work and to give people what they want, while also censoring the places that can't accept that sort of stuff. So that's what we should be, you know, seeing that could happen here when it comes down to it. Actually listening to your people, listening to the people that actually wants to buy your product. Because the last thing anybody wants to see is DOA 7 comes out, it's great, and then, oh boy, the designs ain't really slapping nearly as hard as they should. They didn't really focus in on it at big points as they should have, and now it's kind of cheeks, it's kind of buns, honestly. So yeah, oh no, it's not selling great, and then damn, that's the end of DOA for a long time again. No one wants DOA to go away again. No one wants that shit again. In fact, I would argue genuinely, as much as people like to complain about the the anti-woke crowd and the people that talk about fan service and stuff all the damn time, yes, we are hella annoying. Yes, the other side is also hella annoying when it comes down to it. But there is a reason as to why. And to keep it very much a stack, nobody should want any game company to do bad, and nobody should want any game to just not sell at all. You should want success on across all the boards if they're giving you what they want. And the huge problem is, a lot of these companies, they don't listen to people. They don't look at the fandom and see what do people actually want. Like, yes, I'm talking about, yes, I want to see fan service and skimpy outfits to be added into DOA 7, please. And yes, you can look at this whole video and say, this guy's a effing gooner. What a joke of a person, and all that sort of stuff. But it's also part of what DOA is. Again, I mean, are you just basically going to just say at this point we should just spit on Itagaki's grave? Should we just be at this point forget anything that Itagaki had to do with DOA when it comes down to it? The mentality of what the series started on and what it is, right? That would be like taking the blood out of Mortal Kombat or the fatalities entirely. That would be like taking away Ryu's Hadouken and you give him every other move, but you give him something else instead. That's weird. You don't do that. It's like when people started rumors when in Street Fighter 6 when Ken said, "Oh no, Ken lost his fit. He lost his fire. He don't know how to do his Shoyu reppas anymore," or something like that. Like, no, Ken should still have that. He should be having that more than ever, considering that he's in a rough place right now. So like, literally, you can't just remove certain stuff and then act like it's not that big of a deal, because it is. The man Itagaki himself basically said that, these games that he makes ain't just, video games. They're entertainment. They add things to what you're, playing to it really, like, enjoy. It's not, again, I feel like, genuinely, if we're just looking at things from a FGC standpoint, a fighting game standpoint, fighting games are the most boring games ever. They have to be. Because all you mean to tell me is what? People just get online, play ranked, and that's it, basically? What kind of shit is that? No wonder why it's a damn niche. That's what most people are probably looking at from a casual perspective, right? Oh, yeah, I totally want to get online and get my ass beat back to back, and totally want to support the game after that. Like, no, that's not how anybody should feel when it comes down to it, though, right? But at the same time, no new people should come through and be like, you know what, we should make changes around here and act like they've been around for the longest time. That's not how that works. It's hard to cater to new fans and veteran fans at the same time. I get it. But at the very same time, when we really look at the wider spectrum as a whole, there is a right way of doing things, and there's very much a clear wrong way of doing things. If you F up badly, no one's going to buy DOA again. No one's going to care. Even the Japanese side of Twitter is actually kind of concerned whether or not DOA is going to return to form, or is it going to be basically a quick cash grab because of the name, and that's just how it is, and no one's really going to care for it for years on end afterward. I would hate it if DOA 7 literally is just a stopping point for DOA permanently again, and no one picks it up and champion it again just because, they did it wrong again. Like, I know I don't talk a lot about DOA on this channel specifically, but when it comes down to it though, I still do love it. I just haven't had the chance to because sometimes YouTube be weird. But when it comes down to it though, one thing I do like about something like DOA 4, for example, is that hard ass fight with Alpha 152. Bitch whooped my ass. It was hard to beat her ass when it comes down to it. I kind of want a fight like that to exist again, right? We're in a day and age where people get so mad and so, annoyed with, games not bending to their will. Well, you're just not good at the game, or you just didn't get lucky enough in that match, right? Itagaki himself was like, yo, I don't make easy ass games. If I did, that's some bum behavior type shit, right? He makes the hard difficulty and then makes the hard difficulty even harder, and I like that. It makes you feel like you went through war when it comes down to it, and that's great. It's amazing, right? And so when it comes down to it, I just want DOA 7 to be the best game it possibly can be. Remembering the roots of what DOA is, remembering that it's not just about sexiness and sexy characters and stuff like that, but it's also not just about combat, not about fighting, not about online ranked matches all the time. It's not even just always about the arcadey single player content when it comes down to it. It's about all of those things added together to make something very beautiful of a video game, which is entertainment at the end of the day. And I feel like so many publishers, so many devs, so many online communities have lost the plot when it comes down to how these games are, how they actually feel, what they're supposed to be. Like, genuinely, that's how it is. It's like we have to go to war for 5 different things, when in reality, you don't really have to do all that. Just tell the devs what you want. Everybody can be in agreement to listen to each other's opinion, which is a lost art these days, essentially. And when it comes down to it, we get to have a really good ass game. I am tired of companies losing money on, projects that should work, and they lose money for making stupid ass decisions and listening to the wrong people. That's just how it is. Even if the idea is ridiculous, like fan service and outfits and throwing all that stuff in the air and sending it to them, or like, stage transitions and, ultimates in the game and all that sort of stuff. Like, all that stuff. Like, genuinely, will they listen to it? We don't know. And ultimately, I think it's too early to judge DOA 7 just yet. And we won't probably know anything until Summer Game Fest or EVO when it comes down to it. Or maybe even Tokyo Game Show, whenever the hell we see it. So we can't really judge it right now because we just don't know much of anything. Many things could change. And we'll see how this will shape up as we talk about it now to DOA 6's last round release, and just whenever the next time we see the game come back again. Like, it's gonna be a little minute before we probably see it, but let these people know. Let them know. Don't let your voice be silent when it comes down to it. If you want to make sure, yes, we're getting some really nice outfits in the game, maybe from the, other DOA series, Extreme series, then go for it. If you want to make sure that the gameplay is solid, go for it. You want to make sure that maybe, hey, can we get some cool, fun, cute, sexy mini games maybe, and like how we used to have it in the older DOA games, and put it into this one. Let them know about it. You literally cannot go wrong by voicing your opinion about what could be included and what is included. The only people that's going to lose out on this, truthfully, is going to be the developers, because ultimately, if they don't listen to the right people, it is GG's to them. Literally, people that run the board of DOA when it comes down to the devs and people that are just the community managers and whatever, master or whatever. Essentially, I hope they genuinely take in the real deal feedback of what people want across the board. Not just one section, but across the board. We will see in time if they do so, but ultimately, I just hope, again, many successes to DOA 7, many successes to DOA 6. I hope across the board, everything works out. It's gonna tell whether or not things is gonna get to a bad point, whether or not they listen to people across the board or not. That's just how it is. Now, granted, is this the only thing I want to talk about when it comes down to DOA just in general? No, there's going to be probably another video too, talking about future guest characters for DOA 7, because I do have an idea of a few characters I would like to see. But for this one, I just really wanted to say all this too, because again, I love DOA as a franchise. It's nice to see something different that isn't just beating ass all the time. Like, sure, beating ass is cool, but beating ass with deliberately hot characters, yeah, I'm super down for that. And if people ain't for that, then there's other games that they can play, which don't sound good from a business perspective, sure, but at the same time, you shouldn't have to sacrifice the identity of what Dead or Alive is just for you to get more people in the door. If you do that, that is such a scam move to do. It is spitting on Itagaki's grave, and it's very much a shameful thing. And genuinely, if that's what's gonna be the case, Dead or Alive shouldn't be having a Dead or Alive 7. Hopefully, we can get what we get and it'll be fine, but hopefully everything will be done in the right way. So that's why I say I am optimistically cautious when it comes down to it, because yeah, it's back. Yeah, it seems like it's going in a good direction, but we must remain calm because we don't know if it's surely going to stay that way or not. But that's basically all I really want to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow my socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's me, Boy J, signing off. Have a blessed day.
No violence.
Violence, entertainment, beauty, sex, gambling. Gambling means that if people really like playing a game, then they'll pay whatever it costs. And that's all.